Well, for those of you who watched my last thought for the day, you'll know that it came from Bardsey Island. Tim and I have made our way off Bardsey Island now, where we were for a week, and we've come into mid-Wales, right in the middle of almost nowhere. We're staying in a friend of a friend's tiny little cabin, in the midst of woodlands, with a stream running right in front of it. Nestled into the hills of the Welsh hills. It's absolutely beautiful, and I can't quite describe to you the peace that just emanates from the place and the sense of God's presence. I've actually come for a walk this afternoon, and I found myself in some woodland. It's been an interesting walk, as Tim and I have discovered. With the footpaths that are marked on maps in Wales, they don't really mean anything, and the part of the walk I'm currently on, which is supposedly a footpath going through some woodland, has no footpath whatsoever to be found, and I'm having to literally scramble over fallen trees and all sorts. But it's wonderful. It's just wonderful being out in the wild. And I got to this point and just felt I'm just going to stop. I just need to sit and to be and to recognise God's presence with me. You'll probably be able to see behind me there's some beautiful rhododendrons, and in front of me they're there as well, and also in front of me are the rolling hills, and the sun is shining, and the contrast between being in the shade of the woods and just seeing the sun is just incredible. And so it's kind of not hard to find God's presence here, really. I'm reminded of that quote that's often used: the earth is charged with the grandeur of God, something like that. And it does feel a bit like that. Everything I see, from the tiny little fly to the rhododendrons and their beautiful colour, to the trees, to the dappled light coming through the trees, all of it just fills me with the sense of God's presence. And so it's been very easy just to sit here and to be and to absorb this, almost not the silence, because it's not silent, but you know, that sense of just being in the silence with God. Well, I hope you know what that means for you. If you don't, I really encourage you, go and find somewhere where you can just be awed by beauty and sit and be and allow your awareness to take you to a place of knowing that God dwells within you as you sit with him. But I don't know whether it's going to come across on this video or not, but also another noise that I can hear is the sound all the way up on the top of the hillside above me. I'm quite safe, it's really a long way above me, but are some folk who are felling trees, and you can hear the sound of them chopping the trees down and, well, chainsawing them down. and then the amazing machines that just strip them of their branches and their leaves and then cuts them into logs, and then the machine that picks up the logs and puts them in the lorry. It's all happening up there. I was looking at it through some binoculars earlier on today, and it's fascinating. But you know, as I sit here, it also just, it jars against the beauty and the awe of this place. And I was kind of just thinking a little bit about that, and almost feeling, oh, why, I don't want that, Lord. And kind of felt a bit of a jolt as God was reminding me that actually some of the ugliness of our world, or what we perceive to be the ugliness and the noise and the things that get in the way, that he's in there too. And this time of retreat for me and Tim is proving to be just this wonderful gift of being replenished, being reminded of God's presence, but also there in the sounds of the men working is that reminder that also is a call to action, a call to be in the world, a call to be part of doing what needs to be done, a part of getting our hands dirty as we mix with some of the pain and the suffering and the angst of our world. So I don't know what the actual thought is for today. I've been rambling a little bit with you, but I think for me it's kind of been to take and to find the spaces where we can to replenish ourselves, to be in that place of almost complete oneness with God, absorbing His presence, noticing it, kind of not finding it hard almost to distinguish between me and God, because we're all one. And of course that's very biblical. God is in me and as He is in you. But also that reminder that as I come closer and closer to that experience, there's also that call, not just to stay here, but to take that presence with me, that presence of God with me into His world, into the parts that might jar with me, into the parts where He might call me, where it might feel less comfortable than being in the places of beauty. So I think that's my challenge, and I wonder whether any of that resonates with you. I hope it might do, and if nothing else, I hope you're able to find spaces, whether they be literal places of woodland like this or just other places within your own home, where you can stop and be in the silence, being reminded of God's presence dwelling deep within you.